Alright, here's another video. So today I want to talk about why you shouldn't tell people what you're doing in your life. See, nowadays we are very social, right? And a lot of our lives is very publicized, right? Because of social media. But the thing is, we have this tendency to tell the people that we care about what we're doing, what we're up to. I'm starting a YouTube channel. I'm starting this business. I'm applying for this job. I'm doing this program, and I applied for this program at a university for this and that. And the problem is that when you do that, you're setting yourself up for destruction, in a sense, because the thing is, if you haven't reached that success that you wanted on whatever that you're telling them about, it's gonna make you feel so bad, because those people are gonna, they're gonna ask you questions about what you're doing. They'll be like, yo, so did you finally get that job? Did you finally set up that online business? Oh, how's it going? This and that, this and that. Honestly, it's none of people's business about what you're doing. But the thing is, it's like nowadays, we are so comfortable with telling people what we're up to. Even like a random person you meet in a gym, you guys are having a conversation and it might come off friendly, right? But the thing is, you start telling that person a lot about your personal life, right? And that person may be telling you about their personal life too. But the thing is, you got to keep it a balance. You got to know the boundary. You got to know when to step back and not give away too much information, because a lot of people can get envious, can get jealous of you as well, and you don't want that energy, right? You don't want that around you. And as I said before, if you don't, a lot of the times when you say you're doing something and you don't, and to other people, and you don't get to the end result, right? You're gonna feel so bad about yourself. It sucks. But this has happened to me many times too, where I've told people about something, like a job application I was applying for, and I didn't get the job, right? But I didn't want to tell them, right? But they kept asking me, did you get the job? But they could tell from my reaction that I didn't get the job, and then I feel so bad, right? And I felt you feel demotivated too when you start telling people about what you're up to. You lose the motivation for whatever you're working towards. And I know it sounds kind of weird, but like, it's actually very true. Because a lot of the times, when you tell people what you're up to, they may have opinions and they may have suggestions about how to do this and how to do that. And it may be coming from someone that's very wise, right? And you may take their advice, but once you apply that advice, you don't end up getting the results that you wanted. And the thing is, it kind of like takes you off your path when you start telling people about what you're doing, what you're up to, what your goals are, what your ambitions are, and stuff like that. Because then opinions start coming your way, and it affects you. It affects you, right? It affects you a lot. And honestly, silence is the best form of success. When people actually see the results, right? You actually gain more respect from others. People respect you more when they start saying, oh my God, like they don't know anything about what you're doing in your life, right? 2, 3, 4 years later, you're just quiet. You're quiet on social media. You're quiet off real life. You just give them very basic conversation. What are you up to these days? Oh, nothing much. Just working, this and that. Just doing a couple of things. You keep it very general. But the thing is, 2 or 3 years later, when you actually achieve those results, when you actually start that business, or your YouTube channel becomes successful, or they see pictures of you living in Nevada, in Nepal or something, on top of a mountain or something like that, then they're gonna be like, wow, man, this guy, like, I haven't talked to him in so long, and he's doing these cool things, and he's achieving these amazing things, and I didn't know shit about him. I don't know what he was up to. Wow, you actually gain more respect that way. And even the most successful people in the world, a lot of them, the people who are the richest, whatever the whatever society deems as successful, right? Those people are actually, they were working in silence. A lot of them were working in silence, and they didn't announce too many things to the public about what they were doing. Because it also, when you do this, when you start telling people what you're doing all the time, you lose focus. You start losing focus on what you're doing, right? You really do. And the thing is, it becomes addictive. It's very difficult. I know. It's very difficult to not say too much to people, right? Because you're excited, like, yo, like, this is so exciting. I'm working on a book. I'm working on this YouTube channel, stuff like that. But I promise you, it'll hinder your progress. It'll hinder your focus on whatever you're working on, right? And the thing is, right, you feel a lot more reward, right, when you actually achieve that thing that you're working on in silence, compared to someone, you know, you're constantly updating people about what you're doing. You really feel a sense of like inner success. You feel a sense of worth. You feel more confident, and as I said before, people start respecting you more. And I've noticed this, like, throughout the years. As I got older, I realized that the less I say, the more people respect me. The less I tell them, the more people respect me. And it also makes you more of an interesting person. When you don't tell people everything that you're doing, you just naturally seem more of an interesting person, because you're hard to decipher. You're hard to figure out. Like, what's this guy all about, right? What is he doing in his life? What is he up to? They have this curiosity in their mind, right? And I'm not to say that, you know, that the reality is people don't think about you 24/7. That is actually false. But when they actually hear about you, when somebody tells them about you, right? Then they're like thinking like, oh, I really don't know much about what he's up to these days. I really don't. Before I did. But now he's been off the grid for 3-4 years, and I don't know what he's doing. That is how your life should be. That is honestly very peaceful as well, in that sense. You have a sense of peace, right? Because your life is not being disturbed by others. And honestly, you gain a lot more clarity, a lot more focus, and less distractions. And it's just the best feeling when you are just embarking on your own adventure, in the sense whatever you're working on, and you keep it private. And oh my god, like, social media has really just like ruined this generation, I swear. Like, people are just posting the places that they've traveled to, the things that they've done, and there's obviously nothing wrong with that. That's amazing. That's great that these people have been going to these amazing places and doing these different things and stuff like that. But it creates this facade, right? It creates this facade of like, I am really, like, look at my life. Like, my life is so lavish. My life is so this. My life is so that. That is the type of image that you get when you look at people who post on social media too much, that, you know, their life is just like luxurious, right? But that is simply not the case, right? A lot of the times people are just, you know, they're working hard at what they're doing, right? But then you have this mentality in your head that, oh, I'm not at where I want to be in life, right? And that's where privacy comes in. When you're in privacy, when you keep your life in private, you are your only competition. You are going through life at your own pace. You're not comparing yourself to others. You know, you're not comparing your garden to other people's gardens, right? So that's why it is so important to, you know, post less on social media. Let people create this mysterious aura about you, what you're doing in your life. Like, what is this guy doing, right? And obviously, you got to be actually working on something in order to create this mysterious aura. You know, sometimes a lot of people, they just fake it to make themselves seem that they're working on something big or that they're doing something with their lives. But at the end of the day, your privacy is more important than anything else, right? And you are going through life at your own pace. It's not a competition. It's, right? And so that is why it is so imperative that you need to, you know, keep your work in silence. Whatever you're doing, just keep it silent. And maybe tell your, like, someone that you truly cares about you, you know, tell maybe one person, right? But even then, it's still quite risky, because that person may tell others about what you're doing, and, you know, stuff like that, which is fine, but it still defeats the purpose, because you need to do things on your own and in private, and release it to the public whenever you're ready. And that is where true authenticity lies, where true originality lies, when you do these things. Anyways, I've rambled enough. I hope you gained something from this video. See you next time.